Okay, so here we can now make the header menu. From the previous video we already made it, the header data header component, which is a class component. Let's now try to see the view first. So it looks like this, and we are actually going to make something like so based on this one we will just make this view. So our header will be like some message, like a logo or anything you can use. The navigation menu, so in the app.js we will put header that we already have in the navigation menu, which is also a functional component, and header is a class component in my code. And then we'll just see that okay, how we can make this structure we just discussed. Quickly we'll see this. So we'll see this for here. Let's see the header data. So you have a header data. I'll make it like welcome to my website. Yep, so website is just simple, and then you can see the view looks like welcome to my website. And now there is a navigation menus. So this part I will actually use some list of anchors, like new few pages you click and one page to another one you can go. So look at the navigation. So navigation is a functional component I created inside this one. Actually you don't need to create it here, you can create separate functional component outside and then put it back here. Let's do it. Normally what we do, in a source folder we create another folder which is called components, but yeah, you can write anything you like. So inside component folder let's create a file called navigation.js, and this is actually navigation component. My spelling was wrong, navigation.js. okay, so inside this one I will just cut this code. So this function I just take it, it's a very simple function, and we say this is a functional component and put it here. Yeah, 2 times I did it. So then this functional component, if I export it, it will become just a simple functional component. So I write export default. So it's a default function, there's no more function inside this file, so it's a default one. If you have more function, then you need to write them not with the default. Default means the main function. Okay, so now after do this, go there, and because in there I have navigation menu, and I need to just rename it or write it again, or I can do the second thing, I can just import navigation menu from, so where it is inside my folder component. You can look into the source folder components, so you have to write dot slash, and then you have to write components, select component, and then write navigation. It will come automatically if you use Visual Studio. And then look into the code, still it's working like previously. Okay, maybe I need refresh. Yeah, so sometimes when you don't refresh, it does not automatically refresh. Okay, so welcome to my website. This is coming from the header component. This is navigation menus here, what we can actually use inside navigation menu. So now it's separated functional component. You can actually write something. So when it's one line of HTML element, it's okay, you can just return, but when there is a more line, it's recommended to write a parenthesis and go next line, and then in the next line you can write something. So we can now make a list of data, like we can write something like few menus we can write. We can put a div, and in the div I will write down some link. So by default I can put some anchors. So if I put some anchor href equal to, and then we can put for href we can put down here, we can say like if it's a home page we can write okay something when you click and you go to home page. In this case it will not work because we don't have routes, but we can write some maybe some links. So let's see Facebook. So then you can put www.facebook.com. so based on this information, because as I said the routes is not working, so I'll write maybe few links. So I'll say okay, this is for Google, Google, and then if you write YouTube, so then they will send you to YouTube. If you have a real link which is your code, then it should be like, if you have a routes, then as an example, if maybe I have a link which is called for my home page, then it should be /home, and he is going to home, something like this. If you have a profile page, then it should be like profile, so this should be like this. Okay, but this is for testing. So look our navigation now. It looks like just one line of code. But yeah, because the design is not okay, we can actually change it. We can write it different way. We can give some gaps between the anchors. We need some design. In this case, quickly you can actually take a design. If you already know Bootstrap, you can take it from Bootstrap, or you can do something extra, but we don't think you need to talk about Bootstrap design, so you can just use maybe React Bootstrap design. So if you already know this, that's good. If you don't know, React Bootstrap is a very famous website which is made for React, but mainly the design is coming from Reactjs. So after you go to this website, in this case I only need React Bootstrap, not React Bootstrap. So React Bootstrap is another library, but I need only to use Bootstrap inside my code. So what I need, I just need this line of code. But if I want to use this line, I should use it in the app.js. So if I use in the app.js, the CSS from Bootstrap, it will be actually connected to all my code in everything I have. So if I use it now, they will show me Bootstrap. This is missing because that need to be installed inside my node modules, inside the node modules folder, because it's a library. So what I can do, I can directly go to the bash, or if you have Windows, then PowerShell, then write npm install Bootstrap. Yeah, so then they will install it. So this is the one way how you include Bootstrap, and then quickly they will install it. And when they're installing, we can just go back to our npm and check our navigations. In the navigation, we have Facebook, Google, YouTube, this kind of thing. In Bootstrap, if you already know Bootstrap, you know that Bootstrap has a class which is called button. So for every anchor, you can make like a button. You can write, okay, button primary. So I'll copy this for all the buttons. And then I can just change the name. So first one is primary, next make second one is success, and the third one is maybe danger. So this is different kinds of class name from Bootstrap. If you don't understand, then watch my video how to implement Bootstrap or how Bootstrap works. Yeah, then I think warning. Yeah, so I don't remember actually all the class name from Bootstrap. You can look into this. Maybe yeah, success again. Okay, then if I just go back to my design, yeah, now it looks like this, different links. If I click here, now it's going to Facebook, but yeah, localhost 3000. Yeah, because this is actually first trying to find this link inside my code, and they don't find it, then they're going to Facebook. So this is something we need to check, like how and why it's not working, because facebook.com is outside. We need to redirect from this link to another one, but this will come with our routes. If I click here home, you see they're trying to go in home, but there's nothing called home profile. So different links is executing in the URL, but not here. But that is absolutely okay. So now we see welcome we can fix this later. So welcome to my website. We have some anchors, that means navigation. And look at next part. So what we have in the code, we have in the last presentation we have navigation menu, and then we have content, main menu, footer. So you can actually now put some content here. So as an example, if I need another component, so in the component folder I can put something which is called maybe content.js. so this will actually hold the content I needed. Let's make it also functional component quickly. So we'll just write export default function, and then we say content. You can actually write anything you like, and here I will just return a simple paragraph. So I'll write lorem ipsum, lorem 100. It's not coming. It should come actually automatically. Let me test it. Lorem lorem should come. Okay, so lorem ipsum is not happening in my case. If you know already lorem ipsum, that means this is my main content of the website. So yeah, there will be maybe blah blah, a lot of messages will come or something. So this is something we default put it back, and normally you don't need to import all the component by themselves. What you can put, you can just select the place where you want to put it. Like I select this place, I remove this data, what is component, this message, and then I will just need it, the one I created. So it's called content. Look at this one, I export it as the name content. Yeah, so I will write here content, and you see auto import from, so it's automatically coming, and you see the line is already there. All you have to do, just write a slash, and then it's perfectly working. We can see that this is my main content of the website. If you change something on this one, like here, if I say okay, I forget web, and then I can now make single page web app by Reactjs. So look, these lines will be also sharing here. So we make 3 components is using here based on the picture we talked this one. But yeah, content I read 2 times because I put main content and I wanted to actually put left content, right content. Yeah, that's also possible. Like this is your simple navigation. Let's make maybe a right content beside this one. It's also possible. Yeah, you can do this. So like here we can make another component which is maybe left component. So for this we can write down something like left content. Actually it should be side menu. So for this we need also more design. Let's make the footer, because footer is important in this case, footer.js. So in the footer I will make now also maybe functional component. You can actually do just quickly copy the previous code from content, paste it, change the name into footer, and then you will have maybe in the footer you can write something like this is footer. Yeah, so you can write footer, and then let's see. Yeah, we need to put import this inside also app.js. Like so footer should be after content. Footer auto import, you see the auto import is also coming, and how it looks like footer is coming. Now the thing is how we'll design it. So the designing is something tricky in this case. Like if I want to put a side menu, let's put it components, click here. So if I click, then I said okay, maybe in the left I should have something left content .js. So from me it's recommended to write all the component in capital letter or camel case. This will be better. Small letter will also work. So I put the previous one from content, copy paste, and then I write here left content, yeah, and then I return it. So first I test it, but then I will make it. So what inside this left content should have, in this left component you should have actually so it should be a div, and in the div you have ul user list, and in the user list you will have some link. So inside link, let's put some buttons. You can put a button. So it's let's type equal to, yeah, button type, and the class name from Bootstrap you can choose again like button type, and button is success as example, and we can put here maybe, yeah, gallery of some website. Then each list I need to make a copy, and then I will write down here a gallery page, about me, yep. So then different kinds of link. Then let's put something about me, yeah, sign in. So if someone wants to log in or sign in, sign up, something like this. Yeah, this is just for testing. If I now write change to this to danger and this one to primary, save it. So after save it, and let's put the left content here, left content auto import. So now look at the design, how it looks like. They're coming, but they're coming in the this side, not on. So maybe we want to put them beside this one. Yeah, for this you just need some quick design. So design, that means the content and left content should be inside the one component. Let's put them in a one div, so they could be actually work as you expected. So I cut them and I put them here. Now I need a small design to actually make them like working side by side. But let's, before this we just look into this one, yeah. So here we just needed a div and put left content and the right content, both of them here, and then so it looks like this. Now this gallery about me sign up page should be left side, this message should be right side. It's very easy, we can just do quickly some small CSS for this div. Let's put a class name first, and then you put, okay, this is for the content, yeah, or we can write maybe the main content. So this is a class. In the CSS we need to create it. So by default already inside here we have, if you go app.css and go up, already there is a CSS from Reactjs, but you can of course create your own CSS and import it, but I will use the existing one, and I will go at the end of the file. So this is my own CSS. I can write here, I can write, so this is a class name, we write for class, we write dot, and then I will write, okay, main content, and then inside main content if I write, okay, display type is flex. So this is CSS property that will divide, and this is because of display type flex, what will happen, anything coming inside this div will be divided equally, so two parts. And look at the file now. So my gallery about me sign up page is in the left side and this is in the right side, so they actually divided in two columns because of the flex. So now it's a side menu, this is the top menu. We can actually make it much better. Let's put some border for the whole div, so you can see, okay, what is inside what. So this div is need a border, maybe the whole thing, so you can put a border, yeah. So I'll write down maybe border color or something. Let's write white because it's white, solid. Okay, I need the pixel, maybe 1 or 2 pixel, white and solid. So if you give a border, then it looks like, you can see now, okay, this part is inside here. Let's divide it. So gallery, about me, sign up. You see there is a problem because they have a dot, because I'm using the left content I have a UL. So we know that for unordered list we have a dot all the times. You can remove this quickly. Just write a class name inside UL. You can write a class name is what class name. We can put some class name. In this class we can write maybe UL, or we can write left menu. So we write left menu, and then app.css I'll write down dot left menu, and then we can write list style type. So list style type in this case should be none, because there is no list style type, but I can give also border for this part. So I'll write down also maybe 2 pixel again, in this case red, solid, or anything you like. So look at our code now. So we have border and no style or no design. So you can see, okay, this is another part of the components, and they're now in the middle. You can write text align, so put them in the left. Text alignment should be actually left if you want. So let's look. So this is now going to the left side little bit, but there's a space or something. So this is design, will not focus much, and this is now main content. Every time you will click here, the main content will only show. So this will come from router, and then you see the footer. You can make them smaller and gray color, make it them in the fixed in this part. Put the welcome to website on the tops. So we can make a nice menu and everything. We'll do this in our next video. We'll actually try to make it more nicer, but we need to talk also a different part still React we have. We just make and see the difference between functional component, and we make different components here, as you see. So footer and content, navigation, header, all these components we are putting inside a component folder, which is a good idea. But let me put also the header. So I'll put header directly in the component folder. Yes, I want to move it. So after I move it, then in the app.js they will show me an error, because they think, okay, the header is coming from directly from outside. But in this case, if I now just change it, so header, let me see. So header is coming from, they automatically did this for me. So hopefully this is working. Yes, there is no problem. So automatically Visual Studio is also doing this for me. Otherwise you need to check the path, if the path is perfectly working or not. So everything we put inside component folder. We see the difference between class component, and look at the class component. So we have one class component only here, the class header extend component, this one, and this is now another component for that one. Our next video will see that what the main difference between class component and functional components, because we just created and see the simple difference. Like render is, we have render in class component, but in functional component you have only return, no rendering process. So you have return, and every class component have constructor, as you see, constructor, and inside constructor you can have some data, some event, some function. But in functional component you don't have anything like this. You can directly write a function here, or a variable, or anything. So they are a little bit different. We'll actually see these kind of differences in the next video, but for now we can just see that, okay, what we have here, what is the main difference. So later in the same next video we'll see the state, and how we will use this state inside these two function component, and see how they are working. Thank you very much for watching this, and see you all in the next video.